Troy Engen here with Structural Buildings. Let's talk construction. Today I want to talk to you about steel. Steel is a big part of the building industry and will continue to be so for many years. The reason we use steel is because of its strength. It's used to reinforce, support, and protect. I want to talk mostly about the protection portion of the steel today. Steel is used on the exterior and interior buildings in the form of wall panels. In layman's terms, they're old school. They called it pole barn steel. It's evolved and come a long ways from just pole barn steel anymore. It has all sorts of patterns, corrugations, lengths, a lot of different qualities or attributes and reasons for having it, depending on your building and end use. When you're looking at wall steel, the things to consider in it is the weight, the paint, and what keeps it from rusting. The downside to steel is the possibility of rust. Now, fortunately for the industry, the chemists in this world have come up with great ways to protect steel, and rust is typically not an issue anymore, but it still needs to be addressed, and you as a consumer should know what you're getting and why it won't rust. So the first thing is weight, and how do you know what weight it is and why is it important? Well, your structural building expert will be able to go through this with you and talk to you about gauges. Now, gauges of steel is kind of like shotguns. So the bigger the number, the lighter it is. So if you have 29 gauge steel, it'd be lighter than, say, 26 gauge steel. And you'll hear it from 16 gauge, which is real heavy for wall coverage, all the way up to 29 and anywhere in between. So depending on your corrugation pattern and the use for it, you'll want to know, okay, what's the right weight or gauge steel to use in my situation. The other one's paint. Paint is simply what kind of paint is it, what kind of warranty do I have with it, is it tested, is it true, and who's standing behind it and backing it up. Third thing would be your corrosion resistance, or in this industry, the galvanizing. The galvanizing is addressed in layers of galvanizing. So the thing to look for is the letter G, which stands for galvanizing, and look at the number after that. Real commonly they'll say G60, G90, G100, and there's other numbers too. Those are just common numbers. But that is how many layers of galvanizing do you have. The higher the number, the more layers you have and the more resistant it is to corrosion. So when sitting down with your contractor looking at putting steel on your building, regardless of what kind of building it is, know your steel and make sure that your design build person is confident that they know their steel. They have the resources to find out for you if they don't know it. And also, if you're looking at different steel companies out there and you really want to get into it, ask them for a mill certification. They'll divulge that to you. There's different qualities in your steel. It can be all listed as 20. So you can get your gauge call-outs in 29s, 28s, 26s, as I said, but oftentimes that will still fall into a large window. So you could get a 29 gauge steel that was this good, or you could get it this good. You just have to know the differences in the call-outs. So speak to your structural buildings expert. Let them help you design your building and give you options to choose from. And we look forward to working with you in the near future. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.